Hi, my name is Dragan from AppAppeal. I'm here today with Chris Blagden, Managing Director at Globetrooper. As you may know, AppAppeal gives AppAwards the most original applications in the world. Today I'm happy to announce that the winner of this award for the travel category is Globetrooper. Mr. Blagden, congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you very much, Theodore. It's a great privilege to receive the award, and we're very proud to have been considered, and looking forward to telling you all about Globetrooper.
Well, let's start with that. What can you tell us about the Globetrooper? What is Globetrooper?
Globetrooper, it's a social travel website that's geared towards connecting travellers all over the world, really, wherever you may live, to really build trips and to travel together. And it's a site that's geared entirely towards the needs of the user, particularly in the adventure traveling sector. A lot of backpackers, hikers, people who really want to see the most remote parts of the world and the places that are out there that you might not always go to with a travel agent or normal means. So specialist places, specialist tours, and it's a way for people who really like travel and really like going to distant parts of the world to find other like-minded people that they can network with and arrange trips with. And through the design of the Globetrooper trip wizard or the app, if you like, we have a very elegant but simple way by which visitors to Globetrooper can design a trip around what tour or journey they have in mind. They could be going to the Far East, they could be backpacking in the Alps, they could be going into the darkest jungles of Peru, anywhere like that. And they can engage with other people around the world, wherever they may be, who might want to travel on a similar journey. And using the trip wizard, using the app, a user may create the trip themselves, or if they're so inclined, they can search from nearly 1,000 trips now and see if there are any adventure trips that might fit their criteria or be close to it. And once that initial meeting is made between users, they then typically switch over to the social networking aspects of Globetrooper, which would be using the private messaging tools, and even engaging through more traditional means, email and telephone and the like. It's about bringing adventurers, travellers together in a central location where really they can tap into their interests with people just like them and organise their trips.
Yeah. From what would take it, on Globetrooper, all posted trips are advertised and created by users for other users. There's nothing created by your website and posted, right?
That's correct. All of the trips on Globetrooper are user generated. They're created by real people, real travellers who visit Globetrooper to either set up a brand new trip around their particular needs or goals, or to browse the list of existing trips, to jump in there and to network, to find other travellers and get involved. There is some scope for tour operators to also create trips on Globetrooper, but they are very clearly set apart. There's two types of trips on Globetrooper, and predominantly, at the moment at least, it really seems to be attracting the individual traveller, the
user-generated trips.
Yeah, the user that just wants to see the world and go to places that they just haven't had the opportunity to travel to before.
So, how did you get the inspiration for this app?
Well, it was a long time ago, actually. I myself can't take total credit at all for the development of Globetrooper. The actual founders of Globetrooper was a gentleman called Todd Sullivan and Lauren McLeod, and they're from Australia, and they were looking to do a trip. I think around Kilimanjaro at some point several years back, and they were really frustrated with trying to find suitable people, suitable partners, travel partners to accompany them on that trip.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the initial idea for building Globetrooper and really turning it into part of what you see today. They laid some of the foundations, and really that's something I have a lot of empathy for and share with them. There was a real difficulty, I think, in finding suitable travel partners, particularly in the adventure travel sector, which does tend to be a bit riskier, a bit more adrenaline fueled, shall we say.
Trust problems.
Exactly, yeah. It tends to appeal to those travellers who want something just a little bit different, to be honest. And I think we all felt that there wasn't really the means to set these connections up and to start a platform that would enable such travellers to connect. And we want to be a little bit different from some of the other travel sites that are out there. So really, we focus more on the trips and the type of trips that we want to see on Globetrooper. It's not to say people don't put their vacation ideas up there as well and things like that, but I think first and foremost, it started off in the adventure travelling niche, and even though it's broadened its horizons in some ways, it still caters primarily for the thrill seeker, the adventure seeker, and that's what we're about.
And after you got the inspiration for this app, what were the first steps you undertook?
I think really we took the view that it would be very difficult to try and build a site that was all singing, all dancing, and did everything that we possibly desired straight away. We wanted to build a site slowly and develop a brand, and also develop the site features in a measured way that allowed us to take feedback from users about the kinds of tools and direction that we should be taking. That gave us the advantage of making mistakes, certainly, but learning from them at the same time. And I think it's important also when you don't necessarily have enormous resources. Todd and Lauren, for example, they gave up their jobs in the finance sector to embark on
the company.
Globetrooper. And it's still privately owned today. Globetrooper is still privately owned, and there's an element of risk into investing into new features and new traffic acquisition strategies. So both Todd and Lauren took a very slow and measured approach to building Globetrooper, and I think that slow, measured approach is something that's still very much the strategy that we employ today. We don't try and do too much too soon. We rather do a job well
and then do it 2 times.
Then do it poorly, or try and do too many things and end up not doing them well at all. We're not trying to be TripAdvisor. We're not trying to be the largest site that you could possibly find for travel anywhere. I think that's unrealistic, and at the same time, it's not what we're about. We're about turning Globetrooper into what we want it to be first and foremost.
And speaking of where you want to get and what Globetrooper stands for, can you tell us what are some previous features, some future features that you are going to implement? You mentioned earlier that you'd rather work more on a feature and deliver a top-notch product or a top-notch feature rather than present something poorly done.
Indeed. I said a moment ago that we didn't necessarily want to be the biggest travel site out there, and you know, we're not, but that's not to say that we don't have aspirations. You know,
Hmm.
Globetrooper is a journey. We're ambitious. We do want to build it up as big as we can, but we don't want to lose sight of what Globetrooper is about first and foremost, and that's the user. And with that in mind, you know, we're not standing still. We're very conscious that technology is constantly on the move. In the last 3 years, we've seen a explosion really in the way that social networking is used, both as a medium for gaining new users, as a medium
Yeah.
for building traffic, and also as a way by which, you know, users want to really be involved with your brand, be involved with Globetrooper. Historically, it's been a website that you'll access on your computer, but we're certainly looking at mobile,
Hmm.
possibly in the form of a dedicated application.
Yeah.
See, but if not that, certainly by you know, making Globetrooper fully mobile compliant, um, with with lots of people using tablet devices like the iPad and an increasing number of smartphone users. It's important that to appreciate that, you know, people like their content on the move, on the go, and we're all about traveling. We're all about people who are on the go. So in theory, if you can access Globetrooper at the top of a mountain on a tablet device and get what you want from it, we'll do that. But we're all about innovation, not about standing still. Um,
Hmm.
but you know, we tread cautiously at the same time. We're not in the business of repeating what others have done before. We want to build new things, new tools, new reasons to use the site and to use it in different ways. Um, in addition to some ideas that orientate around mobile, we are investing a great deal in new content.
Hmm.
Everything from engaging feature articles and the like. Um, we see that as a means to really ramp up our levels of direct traffic,
Yeah.
of social traffic, and we're using social networks to actually channel new traffic to our feature articles. We're trying to bring content out more regularly as well, and to offer a more diverse range of content that
Experience.
appeals to a
Yeah.
much wider audience. That's key.
So